Hi, I'm Dave Eckert, and this week I've got an insider's guide to perhaps the most unique city on the planet, Las Vegas. On this show, I'll take you to the world-famous Strip and beyond, with the beyond including a visit to Lake Las Vegas and Marsa at the Lowe's Lake Las Vegas.
What do you call this dish?
Smoked tuna.
Smoked tuna.
Yes.
I'll also take a trip to West Las Vegas in the neighborhood of Summerland for 2 restaurant stops. First up, Vintner Grill.
We're gonna sear the tuna, rare, and serve it with a salad, which makes it unique of baby fennel sea asparagus, black pepper pecorino, and preserved lemon aioli.
Right across the parking lot, there's the excellent Mexican offerings of agave,
Salud.
Salud.
which, in addition to the cuisine, also includes a pretty impressive selection of tequilas. Back in the heart of the city, I'll profile the very hip and very delicious Simon at Palms Place.
How's it been going?
It's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, the space is so beautiful. I have a sushi bar. You know, things I get to work with that are a little different than what I've normally worked with.
And the 3 Michelin star off-the-hook offerings of Joël Robuchon at the M.G.M. Grand.
Usually it's, I would say, 25% of truffle menu, 40% of 35-40% on the 6-course menu, and the rest of the 16-course menu.
Yes, you heard right. He said 16-course menu. I'll also set up residence at the Signature at the M.G.M. Grand, which has some pretty outstanding cuisine of its own, prepared right in your room. It's Vegas, as only Culinary Travels with Dave Eckert can bring it to you. And it's all next. Las Vegas has had any number of nicknames and slogans through the years. Sin City, Lost Wages, What Happens in Vegas Stays in Vegas, Vegas, a Christmas kind of place. Well, that one never really caught on. But however you think or feel about Vegas, there can be no denying its attraction. While it's true most people come to Vegas to try their luck at the tables, the slots, or the sports book, more and more are coming here to dine. By any standards, Las Vegas has become one of the best restaurant cities in the world. That's where I come in, with a look at some great eateries on and off the Strip. Let's start in the West Las Vegas neighborhood of Summerland, in a business park of all places. That's where you'll find Vintner Grill.
We're good to go?
We're good to go?
Yeah.
I'm good to go. Guess we should get the pans hot.
Tell me the dishes you're going to do, man.
First dish we're gonna do is crab ravioli. Dungeness crab stuffed ravioli. We make the pasta sheets fresh. We're doing it with, it's a light garlic butter sauce, fresh English peas, cremini mushrooms, baby tomatoes. It's a great dish with a little truffle pecorino on top. And it really, really represents the crab well. The flavor of the crab comes out really nice.
Silverman has a deft touch in the kitchen, and it shows in his dishes.
In the raviolis, we've got a mixture of like 4 different cheeses. There's a little lemon zest.
Oh, that looks great.
The crab ravioli looked terrific, even though at 9 a.m. it was a bit early to tuck into the order he prepared for the camera. Equally impressive was Silverman's second offering, Moroccan spiced ahi tuna with grilled baby fennel, sea asparagus, peppered pecorino cheese, and preserved lemon aioli. The lemons, by the way, are preserved on site.
The flavor is unbelievable. You can't compare. It's nothing you can compare it to. So, I mean, you can buy them already preserved, but I like to do it myself because I can control how spicy, with the flavor I like, and exactly what I want it to taste like.
Vintner Grill also sports a terrific cheese selection, about 75 in all. Silverman was happy to put together a lovely cheese plate featuring 6 different cheese offerings along with smoked duck breast, Toscano salami, cranberry and apple jellies, apricot mustard, sliced Granny Smith apples, and candied pecans and figs. Yum-y.
What were you going for when you were, talking about this space and the menu and the feel, and what were you going for?
We're going for something that's more contemporary with, you know, the French bistro with Mediterranean influences. I wanted something, according to the food, fresh, different, unique, that you can't find anywhere else.
Silverman calls his cuisine American with Mediterranean influences, and I can certainly see that. Vintner Grill is one of those terrific places that can serve as a neighborhood favorite, fine dining establishment, or special occasion restaurant. The room's light and airy, exuding a casual elegance. Vintner Grill is, in a word, comfortable.
I understand that you have one booth here that's sort of the power booth, the power table that's actually reserved for
Right.
the mayor.
Yep, mayor comes probably once a week or once every other week, and that's his table.
Also, don't miss the patio, which is really cool with its private cabanas and Moroccan lanterns hanging in the trees. Combine the space with the cuisine, and you've got one great restaurant. That's Vintner Grill.
Everything you see in this building was imported from Mexico, from the tiles to the chairs, the art, the doors, the windows, obviously the china, glass, and silverware, the lanterns, the chandeliers, everything you see in the building was actually imported from Mexico.
And that's just one of the charms of my next restaurant visit, the sister property of Vintner Grill, Agave. Also located in Summerland, Agave couldn't be more Mexican if it were in Mexico, thanks to a ton of on-location research by the founding partners.
They went to Mexico for about a month and a half, went to I don't know how many restaurants, tried all kinds of different types of food. They went to LA, Texas, San Francisco, visited hundreds of Mexican restaurants, and came up with this concept, which is, it's been here for about 6 years now. Phenomenal food, great service, beautiful building.
As you heard, everything in the restaurant was imported from Mexico, and it all comes together to create an awesome ambiance. The food's also awesome, which they like to call modern Mexican. Check out the dish they whipped up for the camera. Birria-style short ribs over portobello risotto, topped with banana plantains. Talk about awesome. How about the tequila selection? Agave sports nearly 100 different tequilas and features what they call aficionado flights. 3 tequilas of your choice, a silver, a reposado, and an añejo.
We created your own personal tequila sheet where you can come in and taste 3 tequilas of your choice, and then you get to grade them. So you can either grade them good, better, or excellent. And you know, when you drink all 98 of them, then we'll give you a little prize.
What's the prize? A new liver?
You get a shot of tequila.
That's what you need after 98 tequila, right? Is a shot of tequila.
Varela selected 3 of his favorites to film: the Don Julio 1942, the Herradura Selección Suprema, and the Don Julio Royale. Now that's a flight of tequila.
Salud.
Salud.
Between the cuisine, the tequila, and the space, you simply can't go wrong with Agave. From West Las Vegas, let's head down the highway to Lake Las Vegas. The resort is Lowe's Lake Las Vegas, and the restaurant is Marsa, the domain of sushi master Fuji Fujita.
I came from Tokyo, Japan, but I've studied Tokyo and Osaka. Everything different, food, taste, presentation. Then I've studied my father studied to Tokyo and Osaka style.
Fujita's English may be a bit tough to understand, but not his cuisine, which is a combination of old and new. He likens it to the histories of the 2 cities in which he trained, Osaka and Tokyo. Osaka with a 2,000-year history, Tokyo with just 500 years. Then there's the difference between preparing Japanese cuisine in Japan and preparing it in the U.S.
The big difference is Japan is the 4 seasons. So Japanese people summer is summer fish, the winter is the winter fish, and also history is very different. But I keep I have a pride too, and I keep Japanese sushi old style, but a little bit change creation a taste because of 2009 now.
For the newer offerings, check this out. Chunks of ahi tuna, marinated in ponzu sauce and sesame oil, served in a Maui onion sauce. Creation is presented in a container with dry ice, which gives it its name.
What do you call this dish?
Smoked tuna.
Smoked tuna.
Yes. Like Las Vegas,
Box sushi was next. Sushi literally created in a box. The dish consists of snow crab, tuna, sushi rice, mayonnaise, and fish eggs. Fujita describes it as having old-fashioned style but modern tastes. Each ingredient is added, pressed, then sliced and plated before the concoction is topped with wasabi-infused fish eggs. Taken out of the box, sliced, and topped with the fish eggs, the box sushi is delicious, colorful, and historic. Originating from Osaka, Fujita says box sushi has a 700-year history. Fujita says he wants to give diners a total experience. In a space as beautiful as Marsa, and with cuisine as creative as his, I'll bet he accomplishes that nightly. Classic, cutting edge, and sumptuous. That's Marsa.
We're gonna get the wok nice and hot.
They do a lot of wok cooking at my next restaurant visit, the ultra-hip Simon at Palms Place. That's chef owner Kerry Simon at the wok. He's one of the original chefs on the Las Vegas dining scene, having started in Vegas back in '99 and calling the city his home since 2001. During that time, at a number of venues, Simon has continued to reinvent himself and excite diners, and he's still doing both. Coming up on 2 years old, Simon at Palms Place gives this chef a lot to work with.
The space is so beautiful. I have a sushi bar, things I get to work with that are a little different than what I've normally worked with, which was kind of part of the list, the dream list. It was like, well, here's some of the things I wanted to fool around with. The restaurant's mostly green, as far as what bamboo floors and that kind of thing. So we use a lot of organic products, and pretty proud of the way things are going.
I'll get back to the food in just a minute, but first, I thought I'd give you a sense of the space. Simon resides in the Palms' new luxury tower and overlooks the spectacular Palms Pool, one of the places to see and be seen in Las Vegas. Inside, the restaurant is sleek and modern. It's 8,400 square feet of space, giving diners a ton of options. As for the cuisine, Simon is at the same time cutting edge and comforting. Known for both its sushi and prime beef, which may seem a bit of a contradiction, Simon pleases on all levels.
My style is very modern American in a way, but it has comfort food.
For the camera, Simon chose to keep it simple. First, serving up a healthy portion of wok-charred edamame with ginger, salt, and lime. The second dish was a lot more complex, a burrata salad. I'd not heard of burrata, which is an Italian cheese. In this recipe, hot water is added to cheese curds to form a dough-like product that's chilled in some ice water and then stuffed with whipped curd flavored with dates. Onto the plate it goes, along with clementine oranges, beets, microgreens, and biodynamic extra virgin olive oil. That's Simon's burrata salad. Seems the food is as hip as the space, even if Simon doesn't think that word particularly applies here.
If the scenery is hip for a while or whatever, it's still a restaurant that has a serious side of service and food. And that's what we offer. And if it's all those other things, that's fine too, because that's what people in Vegas like. When they come here, they like to be seen and see, and so you gotta sort of have like a little bit of a circus happening as well. But I don't put the circus on, I just show up and watch it.
Put the circus on and watch it. I like that. That's Simon's at Palm Place.
We are open 7 days a week, so like tonight we're gonna have during the service 15 people working in the kitchen.
How about in pastry?
Tonight on the pastry, maybe 5 people. So it's been 20 people, yes.
It's a lot of people.
Yes, it's a lot of people, but it's a lot of work also.
If you're detecting a French accent, well, you've hit the nail right on the head. This is Joël Robuchon, a Michelin 3-star, Mobile 5-star, and AAA 5-diamond masterpiece in the M.G.M. Grand, and about as French as you can get this side of the Atlantic.
The first year, and Michelin arrived in Las Vegas. It was in 2007, and we got the 3-star on the same time.
You got the 3-star in the very first review.
Yes, exactly.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, not very often, but Mr. Robuchon has a restaurant in Paris who got 3-star Michelin also, so it was not something new for him. So, but we were very happy, and he was also very happy.
Robuchon is a French master chef with a dining empire that spans the globe. He's known for his relentless pursuit of perfection, and he certainly achieved that here. As you've heard, the restaurant was given 3 Michelin stars in its first rating. Very impressive. Equally impressive is the fact that as of this writing, Joël Robuchon Las Vegas is the only Michelin 3-star restaurant in Las Vegas. I asked what sets Joël Robuchon Las Vegas apart.
When you come here and eat here, it's very unique. It's very unique. You don't see this often, because like at the beginning and the end, it's very, very exclusive. You know, when you arrive and you start to take the bread, it's an example. We have a bread card with 40 cans of bread. So you can find this. And even in Paris, you know, when I go in Paris, I'm not going often, but when I go in Paris, I'm very happy to be back in Las Vegas to eat this bread because it's so unique. And you know, the Middle East card behind me, you know, we have almost 50 kind of Middle. So you don't see this often in a restaurant. So it's very a unique experience that we want to give to our guests.
It was truffle season when I visited the restaurant. Lucky for me because I love truffles. Not surprisingly, they were featured in the Toix dish for the camera. Herb potato salad with a carpaccio of foie gras, topped with shaved black truffles, a few sprigs of thinly sliced radish, some shaved parmesan, arugula, black pepper, sea salt, and a drizzle of vinaigrette. Wow, he had me at foie gras. I had the truffle menu and this course at dinner the night of our filming, and I can happily report both were outstanding.
This is le chocolat, is the 6 course, is the crème brûlée. On the bottom you have a crème brûlée coffee with the Rice Krispie gold, because the theme on the restaurant is gold, and all the plate match with the dining room.
Not to be outdone, executive pastry chef Kamel Kushaida, a Bon Appetit magazine pastry chef of the year, was preparing a special chocolate dessert for us to film. A coffee creme brulee on the bottom, topped with some chocolate mousse, gold Rice Krispies, a dark chocolate sorbet, and then a finishing touch.
And you put on the end the warm sauce chocolate, and your dessert melts slowly in front of the guests.
So what you've got here is color, texture,
yes. Tasting.
Crunchy, smooth, taste, and hot, cold.
Yes.
Everything
exactly.
together.
Yes. Between the sorbet, guanara dark, and between the sauce, wine, chocolate, we put on the last minute in front of the guests.
That's really outstanding. Definitely the tastiest Rice Krispies I've ever had.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joël Robuchon is one impressive operation. There are 30 chefs employed at the restaurant, including the pastry staff. And how about this? The candy cart, between 39 and 42 items offered fresh every night. 2 chefs are assigned to the cart each day, and it takes them 3 hours to put it all together. As for the room, or I should say rooms, it's all about grace, style, and elegance. Rich colors and opulent pillows envelop diners. Saying this restaurant is finely appointed is a gross understatement, and believe me, nothing about Joël Robuchon Las Vegas is understated, including this separate dining room that hosts an indoor vertical garden. The celebration of the finer things in life continues on the plate. Diners can choose from a 2-course to a 16-course degustation menu. If 16 courses sounds like too much, all I can say is, not at Joël Robuchon.
So how would you sum up the experience here? What would you want a diner to say after coming and having a menu, whether it's a 6-course or 16-course or seasonal?
It says, the Libre restaurant says, wow, it was, you know, something unique, very unique and memorable, something memorable.
So really an experience that you will remember for
Exactly.
a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll certainly remember my meal at Joël Robuchon for a long, long time. Just a short walk from the M.G.M. Grand and Joël Robuchon is the Signature at M.G.M. Grand, a residential hotel within a hotel comprised of 3 38-story complexes.
The large casino, we have a lot of people through the doors, and to personalize the service the way we do it here is very difficult, regardless of how much you try. With the Signature, it's a lot smaller property. It gives you that boutique feel.
The Signature is an all-suites property, and the rooms are spacious and extremely comfortable. I should know, I spent most of my nights in Vegas here. The bathrooms are big, as are the bedrooms and the beds. A comfortable bed is important when you travel as much as I do, and these beds are really comfy. As you heard, they talk a lot about personalized service at the Signature, and it doesn't get any more personalized than this. A multi-course gourmet meal served in your very own room. The comforts of privacy without sacrificing the quality you'd find in a restaurant.
That is part of the idea that we're trying to develop here, and that is that because you're in your hotel room, doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice that experience. And I think that food is only one part of that experience for us, really. And that show, a little bit of the presentation, does it make sense in the transportation? And obviously the flavors have to be wonderful, delicious.
Boucher supplied me a 3-course meal prepped in advance but finished and presented in your suite. Cauliflower soup, butternut squash tortellini with sage brown butter, and tandoori chicken tikka marsala with steamed rice, naan, and traditional pickled vegetables. Now that's what I call personalized service.
We can offer you from hamburgers to fine dining to anywhere in between. And I think that that really is one of the major goals that we have here at Signature, is to really offer that experience to the guests, to give them the opportunity to have vegetarian options, to have gluten-free options, to be able to offer a first course. And that's one of our goals.
In-room dining at the Signature at the M.G.M. Grand. Just one more reason I'd stay here again, in a heartbeat. And on that note, it's time for me to end my visit to Vegas in this week's show, as I say goodbye for another week. Wherever you go, and whatever you eat and drink, may your dining experiences be great and your travel safe. Hope to catch you again on the Culinary Travels Trail very soon. See you next week.